the dance that was a cure, La Tarantella's dark origins. In 1621, a young woman in Puglia started screaming. She couldn't stop. Her body convulsed. She clawed at her skin. Doctors examined her and found 2 small puncture wounds on her ankle. The diagnosis? She'd been bitten by a tarantula. The cure? She had to dance until the poison left her body, for 3 days straight, without stopping. This is the true story of La Tarantella. And it's not what you think. Southern Italy in the 1600s was brutal for women. Arranged marriages at 14. No education, no freedom, no voice. Women worked the fields until their hands bled, then went home to serve their husbands and in-laws. They couldn't own property, couldn't refuse their husbands, couldn't even speak freely without permission. And if they showed any sign of depression, anxiety, or rebellion, the church called it demonic possession. The doctors called it hysteria. Either way, the cure was the same: beatings, isolation, exorcism. But in Puglia, something different started happening. Women claimed they'd been bitten by tarantulas, and suddenly everything changed. Because according to ancient belief, the only cure for a tarantula bite was violent, frenzied dancing, for hours, sometimes days, until the poison worked its way out of the body. Here's what made this brilliant. Once a woman claimed she'd been bitten, she was untouchable. Her husband couldn't beat her. The church couldn't punish her. Her in-laws couldn't work her, because she was sick, poisoned, and everyone knew the cure. The family had to hire musicians, clear out the largest room in the house, and the woman would dance, wildly, violently, without any rules or structure. She'd spin until she collapsed, scream if she wanted, tear at her clothes, throw herself on the ground, all behaviors that would normally get a woman beaten or locked away. But during the Tarantella, it was medicine. Other women would come to watch, to support, to witness. And sometimes, mysteriously, they'd discover they'd been bitten too. Soon you'd have 5, 10, 15 women all dancing together, for hours, days. The men had to watch, had to pay for the musicians, had to feed everyone, and they couldn't stop it, because this was a medical emergency. Now here's the thing. Tarantula bites don't actually cause this. Real tarantula venom might hurt, might swell, but it doesn't make you dance uncontrollably. The doctors of the time didn't know that. But the women? They knew exactly what they were doing. Modern historians call it a socially acceptable form of mass hysteria. But that's just another way of dismissing it. These women created a loophole, a brilliant, subversive loophole in a system designed to crush them. They weaponized superstition. The same beliefs that normally trapped them, the idea that women were weak, susceptible to spiritual forces, needed male protection, they turned all of that around. And for a few days, sometimes weeks, they were free. Free to express rage, to move their bodies however they wanted, to gather with other women without male supervision, to scream, to cry, to exist outside the crushing weight of expectation. The tarantella wasn't a cure for spider venom. It was a cure for everything else. The tradition spread across all of southern Italy, Puglia, Calabria, Campania, Sicily. Each region developed its own version. The music got faster, the dances more elaborate. By the 1700s, it wasn't just about spider bites anymore. It became a celebration, a festival. Men started dancing too, but they could never quite do it the way the women did, because they didn't need to. By the 1800s, when Italian folklorists started documenting these traditions, they'd forgotten the dark origins. They saw a charming peasant dance, colorful costumes, joyful music. They completely missed what it actually was: a form of resistance, a cry for freedom, a brilliant act of subversion disguised as superstition. The Italian government started promoting it as cultural heritage, tourist attraction. By the 1900s, it was in textbooks as traditional Southern Italian folk dance, sanitized, neutered, turned into entertainment. Today, if you go to a Southern Italian wedding or festival, you'll see the tarantella. Everyone will be smiling, laughing, dancing in circles. The bride and groom do a version. Tourists clap along, and nobody remembers. Nobody knows that this cheerful dance started as a scream of desperation, that it was medicine for a sickness that had nothing to do with spiders, that for hundreds of years, southern Italian women used this dance to carve out tiny moments of freedom in lives that offered none. They couldn't fight the system, so they danced around it, literally. This is the untold story of southern Italy, where even joy has teeth.